Am I the a-hole for telling my aunt she's no longer welcome after she ruined my baby's christening? I'm Diana, 32, from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I just had my first baby, a beautiful little boy named Theo. What should have been a joyful occasion celebrating Theo's christening turned into an absolute nightmare, all thanks to my Aunt Celeste. Now the family is divided, and I'm questioning whether I overreacted. To give you some context, Aunt Celeste has always been a handful. She's my mom's younger sister, and while she can be charming, she's also known for being dramatic, self-centered, and completely incapable of reading a room. Growing up, Celeste was the fun aunt, but as I got older, I realized that her antics often came at other people's expense. Still, I've always tried to keep the peace for the sake of my mom, who adores her sister. When Theo was born, Celeste was thrilled and immediately started calling herself Auntie Extraordinaire. At first, it was cute, but her behavior quickly became overbearing. She'd show up unannounced, criticize how I was doing things, "Are you sure that's the best formula?" and post endless photos of Theo on social media without asking. When we started planning Theo's christening, I knew Celeste would want to be involved. I tried to set boundaries early on, asking her to respect the guest list and keep things low-key. "This is about Theo and our family," I told her. "We want it to be simple and meaningful." "Oh, of course, darling," she said, waving me off. "I wouldn't dream of stealing the spotlight." Famous last words. The day of the christening arrived, and everything started out beautifully. We held the ceremony at our church, with close family and friends in attendance. Theo looked adorable in his christening gown, and I felt such a sense of pride and gratitude as the priest blessed him. Even Celeste seemed on her best behavior, until the reception. We hosted the reception at a small event hall near the church. The decorations were simple but elegant, with a pastel theme and a table full of homemade desserts. As guests mingled and admired Theo, I started to relax. That's when Celeste decided it was her time to shine. She showed up late to the reception wearing a floor-length sequined gown that looked more suited for a New Year's Eve party than a christening. Everyone turned to look as she swept in dramatically, holding a giant gift box wrapped in gold paper. "Sorry I'm late," she announced, loud enough for the entire room to hear. "I just had to pick up something extra special for my precious nephew." I exchanged a glance with my husband, Mark, who raised an eyebrow. "What is she doing?" he muttered. "I have no idea," I whispered back. Celeste made a beeline for Theo, scooping him out of my arms without even asking. "Let Auntie Extraordinaire hold the man of the hour," she cooed, spinning him around like he was a prop. "Careful," I said, trying to keep my voice calm. "He just ate, and he gets fussy if he's overstimulated." "Oh, nonsense," she said, waving me off again. "He loves his Auntie Celeste." Before I could respond, she handed Theo off to my mom and grabbed the microphone we'd set up for toasts. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, tapping the mic, "I'd like to say a few words." I froze. This was not part of the plan. Mark leaned over and whispered, "Do you want me to stop her?" "No, let's see where this goes," I said, though I had a sinking feeling in my stomach. Celeste launched into a long-winded speech about how much she loved Theo and how she was going to be the most important person in his life aside from his parents. At first, it was mildly annoying but harmless. Then she started making digs. "Diana's a wonderful mom," she said, her tone dripping with condescension. Though I did have to give her some pointers along the way. "First-time moms, am I right?" The room went uncomfortably quiet. I felt my face flush with anger but kept smiling through clenched teeth. "And of course, we can't forget Mark," she continued. "Poor guy must feel like a third wheel with all us ladies fussing over Theo." That was bad enough, but then came the pièce de résistance, the gift. Celeste dragged her enormous box to the front of the room and insisted on opening it in front of everyone. Inside was a gaudy, oversized throne-like chair embroidered with Theo's timeout throne. "Isn't it fabulous?" she said, beaming. "Every baby needs a little throne for when they're being naughty." I was mortified. The gift was completely inappropriate, not to mention a blatant attempt to steal attention. People started murmuring awkwardly, and I could see the discomfort on my mom's face. Mark leaned over and whispered, "Do you want me to say something?" "No," I said. "I'll handle it." After the reception, I pulled Celeste aside. "What the HLL was that?" I said, keeping my voice low but firm. "What was what?" she said, feigning innocence. "The speech, the throne, the whole dramatic entrance," I said. "You made the entire day about you." "Oh, don't be so sensitive," she said, laughing. "Everyone loved it. I was just adding a little flair." "This wasn't your day to add flair," I said. "It was about Theo, not you." Celeste rolled her eyes. "You're overreacting. I was just having fun." "Well, it wasn't fun for me," I said. "And it's not the first time you've pulled something like this. You need to learn to respect boundaries." She crossed her arms. "Fine. If you don't want me around, maybe I just won't bother coming to your events anymore." "That's your choice," I said. "But until you can respect my family, you're not welcome." Since then, the fallout has been intense. My mom is begging me to apologize, saying I humiliated Celeste and that she was just trying to make the day special. My dad, on the other hand, thinks I was right to stand my ground. Mark is fully supportive, but he's worried about how this will affect family dynamics long term. As for Celeste, she's been telling anyone who will listen that I'm ungrateful and that I ruined the christening with my bad attitude. Some family members have taken her side, while others think she crossed the line. Am I the a-hole? Did I overreact by telling my aunt she's no longer welcome, or was I right to set boundaries after she ruined such an important day? I feel torn between standing up for myself and keeping the peace, and I don't know what to do. What would you have done in my shoes?